All right, this is me, John, and I'm with my buddy Brandon, and we're Unwise Wisdom. It's just us two today, but we might have a few other people on the show from time to time, depending on if they give a fuck. So, if they give a damn.
Well, that's a good way to start that first episode.
Yes, sir. We're going to get into some topics, and hopefully there aren't as shit as our friendship. Just hopefully.
All right, so today it's going to be a shorter podcast, but we'll see how it goes.
It's going to be about 5-6.
Okay, so first topic. I got a few topics today. Mm-hmm. Soulmates. What do you think? What do you think of soulmates?
I don't believe in it. I think there are people, like, I know what you're gonna go with. You're gonna go around the idea of, like, soulmates isn't just a love idea. I think you're going about the topic of, like, when you're connected with somebody in a way that you're not with many other people.
Yeah, because right? I don't do either of us believe in, like, souls? I don't know. I don't think I believe in souls.
Like essence?
Like essence. Like I think that there's like a body and then there's a soul within that body. That
I don't see it like that. Not to say that I don't think there isn't a soul. I wouldn't see that right away. But what I would say is I think there is like a percentage of the human essence that I'm not completely I don't think it's completely explainable. You know what I mean?
Like consciousness? Is that the idea?
Yeah, but there's more than that because I just think there's some stuff that have yet to be explained. It doesn't mean they won't be.
Oh, 100%, yeah.
In terms of like the human psyche and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I kind of, until it gets explained, I want to kind of Disney it up and just believe in it because it's fun. It's fun to just kind of believe in souls and like essence and shit.
Yeah, well, you also like have the belief in God, correct?
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. Because I feel like I'm more... I'm more atheist. I used to be more Christian, but like now I just don't believe in God.
That's fair,
right? You have that like side of you where you believe in the like non-explainable, kind of.
For sure, I agree. I do, but for me, the way it's always been for me isn't like that. I'd never argue somebody on it. I just don't think it's worth the argument. But
it's not because you can't. Like, how can you argue it?
There's nothing to argue. But what I would say is, for me, I think it'll take a long. I don't know if we ever will be able to explain how the Earth really like to be able to view it or to be able to see what actually happened. Because the Big Bang is a theory that makes sense in its essence because of the fact that, the universe is expanding. So why is it expanding? It had to have started somewhere. So I'm never going to disregard that. Any science that is stated right now, I'm not going to disregard because of religion. Mm-hmm. That just isn't the way I am. But for the things that aren't explained, a few things I just don't think will be explained, in my opinion. But I can never know. Things accelerate. Things happen. Who knows? I just think there's something that started it. Like, I can't, like, a Big Bang, okay, then where did that come from?
I know where you're talking from. And, like, I used to think like that, like, Big Bang, that's not really explainable. Because I can't even explain it. I don't understand that whole area of science, right?
Yeah.
But from where I'm coming from is, like, if there was a God, and I used to go to church, right? And there were all these sermons and these super powerful pastors and like fucking gemstones that appeared from the sky. Like these are real things that people believed.
Trust me. And when it gets to the specifics of religion, I'm very I don't believe in any of it.
Okay, so but like just explaining like what I got. There were like gemstones that like released from the sky. There were like feathers that just kind of appeared. And my thing is like, if there was a God, I think somehow, some way, there would be some evidence of these unexplainable phenomena that happens that people claim to happen in whatever scenarios.
For sure, I get what you're saying. I agree, and to be fair, I'm not even 100% certain that those unexplainable phenomena are what they're saying it is. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But the way that I see it for me is I don't believe in it traditionally. In a way, I talked to my cousin who's studying university for philosophy, so she knows like a lot about this type of shit. And she was saying I'm agnostic, which means I don't belong to any specific religion. Like I'm Muslim because of my family, because I was born. But it's like, all right.
Is that believing like in the Christian God too?
No, they believe in the same God. They just the difference between, in essence, there's a lot of differences, but mostly similar. The difference between Islam and Christianity is that we just don't believe that Jesus is the Son of God. He's just another prophet.
Isn't that Jewish? I know Jews don't believe that.
Yeah, but there's overlap between Jews and Islam as well. And to be fair, Jews came with the Old Testament. New Testament was Christianity.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But for me, I don't really believe in much of that. Like, I can't say I believe in Adam and Eve. I just don't. Like,
Okay.
it makes no sense to me. You
Sure.
know what I mean? And everybody has their beliefs, but for me, it's like there's enough science for me to not, like I can't say that I'm a biology student. You know what I mean? If I'm disregarding everything I'm learning, then yeah, I can do it.
So you believe some things, but you don't believe others in the Bible. Because you said that you can't explain the Big Bang. That doesn't necessarily mean that I'm saying you believe in God, but you're saying that you believe in this thing, but you don't believe in
name it
Adam
God. I named the thing. I think there's something else. And the way I see it is, what I honestly believe, if I had to put it out there and say what I believe the Big Bang happened. I just believe something was behind it.
Okay. I think I'm similar. I'm just slightly apart. I'm more, I don't think it happens because my mind is very, very scientific and like I need to see evidence for anything.
No, I agree.
But for me, it's I hope that there's something out there. Not that I think that there's something out there. I hope that
I agree. That's a completely fair stance to take.
Yeah.
And I don't have any book telling me that what I'm saying is right. I just, even from a young age, I've always thought, well, I'm not going to look at scientists and just say they're wrong because in a lot of instances they're right. And I'm not going to disregard. People just don't believe in evolution. Like some of my friends and people that I love, they just don't believe in it. They're just like, it didn't happen. You think we came from monkeys? And I'm like, well, that's a simplistic way of looking at it. No, I don't think specifically that's what happened, but in essence, yeah. I believe in evolution.
I don't know. I just don't know too much about evolution in general.
Because you're not like
I'm not a bio student. Yeah.
I'm like I've been through some bio classes and I took bio this semester, first year university. We're both first year university, by the way, and I believe in evolution. I think it's impossible to dispute it if you really go into it. And I've talked to somebody about it, and I realized that some people are in a place where if you're super religious or you believe that evolution doesn't exist, from that perspective, you can make stuff fit. Like, think about it like this. Like, you can make different puzzles with the same puzzle pieces in a way.
Yeah, sure.
That's the idea.
Because it's just if you believe that it fits now. That's the thing. Like, I'm not a person who can just believe something just because it's belief.
That's fair.
I have to prove it. Like, I know my mind just works that way. And it's not always a good thing. It's not always a good thing.
No, it's just the way that you are. Like,
yeah. And it's like there are some things about people that are core and fundamental that you just can't change. Unless you, like, fucking break them or some shit. But like realistically.
It's like, some soldiers.
Like, realistically, you can't change by yourself. You can change some things. You can change your work ethic. You can change...
There's things you can change, but there's things that you've been raised with. And also, there's no reason to change. I believe you can change, but when given a reason, when given something to change
But this is like core. This is like believing in something.
But people will adapt. I mean, at our finest, we are like bodies that survive.
Yeah, but I'm not, like, then you go to the extremes. You go to like 1984.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Like, I think you can change, but there's things like you have no reason to change that. There's nothing like impending that's facing you that's going to be like, well, God's right there. You know what I mean? There's nothing that forces you to change the way that you think, because it's not a particularly negative way to think. It's just the way that you think.
Yeah.
It's an understandable way to think. Same way for me. It's like, there's nothing like forcing me to think a different way. And I would never.
There's nothing negative about 100%. The way you're thinking.
And like, have you seen or like heard about a movie called like God's Dead?
I love that movie. I see. I'm atheist, but I love that. Have you watched the second one?
I didn't watch the second one, but
it's
the first
a good one too.
It made me look at it. I'm like, I would never concede that God isn't real to somebody because they try to like make me.
Did you like that movie?
I did. I thought it was corny, but a lot of movies are corny. You know what I mean?
Especially like the God movies. They're corny.
Dude, corny as hell. This is the way I see it. I'm like, the part that I like is that they're standing up for their belief, and they make a good argument. They made a good argument. They're like, hey, look, like, you don't know just as much as I don't know, and if you want to go on the side of nihilism and not believing it, go on that side. I'm just not on that side.
I like how he took a scientific stance and he took the other person's stance towards.
That's if it was ridiculous and be like, well, you didn't read this Bible verse. It's like, well, nobody did.
Exactly. Right? Like he took atheists and theists like remarks and used
which
them
is
against.
A funny word to say, theist.
Bro, I didn't even know the word theist.
Yeah.
That movie taught me the word theist.
100%. But that's funny as hell. But yeah, I think the reason why I like that movie or parts of that movie, not towards the end where everybody came together and sung Kumbaya, where I was like, what am I watching? You know, I'm like,
And what happened at the end?
it was something like everybody just came together and the guy started to believe in God again. I'm like,
No, he died, bro. What are
he?
you talking about? Remember he died on the street and he kind of believed in God. Like
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
he
yeah.
kind of believed in God.
But he
Listen,
died.
I kind of thought in my head before it happened, like, and during the movie, I'm like, he's gonna believe in God or some shit, right? And it happened. I'm like, this is dumb. I'm like,
yeah, but see that's what we were talking about. Something was on the line. He was dying.
oh, he was
Right?
dying.
He was dying.
I don't remember
That's-
that movie that well. I'm just thinking about what I meant from the movie is forget the movie. Is like the idea is I wouldn't give away my belief in God just because somebody forced me to, or somebody not even forced me, somebody challenged me and said, "You're an idiot. You're this or you're that." I'm like, look, you have just as much proof as I do. It's just what stands me to.
in his scenario, what would you do? Would you leave the class?
Like the teacher, right?
Yeah, the teacher said, "Hey, let's get over this unit. If you write God is dead on this piece of paper, I'll give you 100%."
Dude, I would report his ass.
unit."
Are you kidding me? I would report his ass immediately.
Can you
Dude,
just
are you
not do that as a university student?
Dude, if I tell, especially today,
But that's part of the course. Like part of the course.
no, but
was like a course arguing whether God is alive or dead.
yeah, but then that's not an argument. What he did was force you to take that stance.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
If the
That's
course
fair
is
enough.
about God, belief, religion, and whether or not God is real or not, he should have until the end of the course to try to see how many people he can get to believe God is dead and how many people who don't. I don't think you
Yeah,
should
but
walk into the
that's-
class. If you walk into the class thinking that you have to say God is dead and you have to write this down, then you're like,
But that shit already happens like on a minor basis, but still happens today with teachers having their own opinions, and if students have another opinion and they write an essay combating the teacher's opinion, they'll mark it more harshly.
you're right, 100%. I'm not. There's bias exists in the world, but to that extent, no. That's a reportable and honestly a fireable offense.
Yeah, but like teachers, especially professors, they're not going to be fired. Professors never get fired.
Whether in today's culture, it's a lot easier. In today's 2020, 2021, somebody telling you have to believe in God or not believe in God, your freedom to religion is a much more kind of like valued thing today. Or like people will get fired a lot easier than they used to. And I'm sure professors in relation to other jobs don't because they have tenure and shit. Mm-hmm. But dude, he'll at least at the minimum have to stop doing what he's doing.
Yeah.
Which is that's all you want.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And to be fair to your point, you said that's what the course is about. And if the kid came into the course knowing that, it's different. Like I don't know if he came in trying to spread the good word of God or he was just trying to come into the class because it interested him.
I don't know. I remember at the beginning of the movie, he was signing up for his classes or something, some shit, and the guy, like a student was doing handing out the schedules, and he saw the cross on his neck, and he's like, "Bro, change out of that fucking class," and and apparently like it didn't fit into his schedule or something. That's why he took the class.
Well, yeah.
He was told to get the fuck out.
And that's by who? By the teacher?
No, by a student who took the class. And he's like, this is like you don't want to go in this class. He's gonna fucking, I don't know.
Well, in that sense, it's different.
Oh wait. Are we allowed to swear on this podcast? Or we don't give a shit.
Yeah, we don't give a shit. Look, I mean, if we get more than a few 100,000 viewers, then nah. But like, we'll talk our shit right now.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Well, on that topic, I think we went into soulmates, right? I don't know.
Oh yeah, we left that.
Fair enough, but to be fair, we kind of went into like what a soul was and everything, which is fair. But back on the topic of soulmates, do I believe there are soulmates in terms of like born to be? No. I think we were lucky enough to be in the right circumstances to meet each other. All of our friends, all the people that we get to meet.
So you're not even just talking about relationships. I was more talking about relationships.
That I don't believe in at all.
At all?
Not in the least. No. I think there are people who fit better. I think there are people who fit well enough past a certain threshold to be able to live with each other for the rest of their lives. I don't think that means you're soulmates. I'm sure
there's also people who don't fit together, but they're still like.
But that's saying they don't.
You know exactly what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking, but that's different. I'm not like because we have certain emotions for somebody that transcend the other emotions we've had for other people doesn't make it soulmates.
But when it lasts for years, like what are you going to say about it?
You can't say it lasts for years when you haven't had another.
I'm not talking about soulmates.
No, I get it. I know what you're saying. Just that emotion. Mm-hmm. The difference is, and this is a very common theme throughout life, is with girls, with guys, whenever it's relationships, what tends to happen is you are not going to get over the last person you were with unless you get with somebody else. If they've impacted you the way that the people that it's impacted us have. You're just not.
But so you're saying that we're gonna be stuck in this situation for our entire lives, pretty much.
What do you mean?
Like liking a girl like this.
Are you kidding me? Yes. This is not going to be the last time we feel this way.
No. But you're saying it's a constant thing because your claim was that the only way we're gonna get past these girls are to go on to the next ones.
Yeah, but if we're never going to get on to the next one, that's a bigger problem than that. So you guys, is it our entire life? No. Let me just get that out there. No. It isn't as simplistic as that, because if we don't get a girlfriend for the rest of our lives, we're going to be depressed. So we're not thinking about that. So, no, not really. The rest of our lives. Yeah, assuming in a timely fashion, we talk to somebody else.
Yeah, but also, like hookups, I don't know how you feel about hookups, but hookups don't really help.
No, that doesn't mean anything to me.
Yeah, hookups, like, after you do enough, it's like nothing. Especially in the scenario that we're in, that we don't, like, really give a shit about just hookups.
No, dude, no way, no in hell, because emotions are different. But I've dated people that I don't care about the same way I care about, specific girls, right?
Yeah, but I think that's just because we were kids.
No, I agree.
Like, we're first years now.
Yeah, for sure. But I'm also on that. The point is, if that doesn't impact me, like, how the fuck is a hookup gonna impact me? You know what I mean? Like, a hookup it's a whatever.
If the relationship didn't hook.
If some relationships didn't impact me in the same sense.
Yeah, but I don't think you can do that as a fair comparison, because that was in grade 9. Like, I'm assuming we're talking about grade 9.
I've hooked up with people outside of that, to be fair.
Yeah, hooked up, but not like I'm
saying. Yeah, fair enough.
You're talking about
fair enough. Then,
yeah.
I see what you're saying. The point I'm just trying to make is no, hookups don't.
Yeah, hookups don't affect.
I think, and this is my advice to most guys who are going through something similar, where they feel like they've either broken up with a girl or they're just getting over a girl. I'm not saying go and date somebody for the sake of dating.
That's not going to work.
It's not going to work. What I would say, and my greatest advice to anybody, not just guys, but this especially applies to guys who are in similar situations, is seriously try to work on yourself. Seriously. People don't get that. They hear it all the time and they hear mantras of it. But the best way to get a girl or whatever is by working on yourself and becoming a better person and coming into your own. Like, that's.
And adding on to that, for me personally, what Jean is talking about helped me is that, like, what I did personally after one of my big, not breakups, but like, you know what I'm talking about.
When you went through something with a girl and you're getting...
Yeah, exactly. What got me through was working out in order to look better, feel better.
Oh, yeah.
Not even just working out. I was working out. I was working at school. I knew, like, I was improving myself to be like, yo, when, like, 15 years, like, 10 years, 5 years down the line, when this girl sees me, she's going to be like, what the fuck did I do? Like, I fucked up.
And you know what? Even though people try to take that as, like, oh, it's whatever, kind of manipulative in a way, or dude, everybody has their motivation. Don't get me wrong. I think the best motivation is internal. But it doesn't always work. Sometimes you just need an extra push.
I think it's okay as long as it's improving. As long as it's not
it's good for you.
If it's not a negative thing towards you, I think whatever motivates you, motivates you. Like,
I agree. Whatever gets you up in the day. Mm-hmm. The idea is just like what sustains, right? So that's the idea. Like,
yeah.
So like if you break up and you're like, and you feel better about her, and you're like, oh well, I'm done working out forever. No, obviously that's extreme. Mm-hmm. But I agree with you. In general, doing shit that's good for you is always going to be good for you, right? Yeah. And with that, when I say work on yourself, here's the truth of the matter. People are never going to just get it. People say, I need to go on a diet. What do I eat? What do I do? I need to work out. What do I eat? What do I do? Here's what you got to do. Something. You got to start. Man, if you don't work out at all, go on a walk, go on a jog, do something, do a push-up, see what your standard is, what your baseline. Mm-hmm. Because you might try to do a push-up and you can't. And that isn't embarrassing. People, when I was in grade 8, I couldn't. I couldn't do a push-up if you forced me to. I lost weight. I went to the gym and I was able to. You know what I'm saying?
And I get the struggle of going to the gym and being the weakest one there. And that's super it's hardest one. That's a bottom line. I used to be that guy.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've got a bit more muscle on me. I'm still not
But
like
you're not like fucking. You're not like embarrassing. Now.
Yeah, I'm not the
By
twig
any
I
means,
was
by any
in
means,
grade
no.
9. But yeah, I know exactly what it was like, and I know how hard it can be. But you just gotta do something. Even if you don't go to the gym, like let's just say you don't go to the gym. This shit, like get a push up down and then go to the gym. Like if you can do a push up, you can go to the gym.
Dude, I agree. I think going to the gym is healthy for your mind and body, for sure. But what I will say is another thing that, for anybody who wants to either lose weight or get in shape, the most important thing, and I mean this, for some people it's not, like for you have a great metabolism, so it doesn't matter.
You're gonna go food?
Yeah, the most important thing by far is the diet. I mean, I'm going to put it out there because
It's the hardest thing.
It's the hardest, for sure. And the thing is about it is, and I don't know if a lot of people know, but it gives you endorphins to eat good food. Like not even
endorphins is workout, bro.
No. But you also get endorphins from that. There's like eating vegetables gives you like a lot, like the reactions in your body. Endorphins,
maybe
other
it's
shit.
A different drug, like dopamine. No, dopamine's like
not. But you get endorphins from doing anything good. It isn't just working out. You get endorphins from
what?
You think you get endorphins from just working out? No, that's crazy.
What? No, because like there's serotonin, dopamine, endorphins.
No, those are all neurotransmitters. There's tons of those. You can get endorphins from multiple things. Working out is a big one, but it isn't the only one. You get endorphins from achieving.
Yeah, but like
endorphins. Think about it like this: endorphins function to reward you if you do something good. That's what it functions as. Like, do you know why they're? Do you know? I'll explain to you. There's a guy named P.F. Skinner. Okay. He's done the reward and like with a dog, like a kind of like reward.
Oh yeah.
Process,
Training,
right?
Training. Whatever.
That's an endorphin based system. Like you, but not. It
depends.
depends. Not him, because
it's not dopamine.
It's not him. Because there's different variations of it. One is just training. Like if I hear a sound, then I smell something. That like those are those ones where there's just like a simple connection. But there's also ones where if you reward somebody, they'll continue to do something.
I thought that was dopamine though. Why is that endorphins? Because dopamine is like that instant gratification reward.
Oh, endorphins, dopamine. It's one of the two.
Yeah, but like it's a distinction. Like there's dopamine that's like instant reward. There's endorphins. I know. I knew it as the working out drug where it's like you're improving yourself. So then your body over time it needed some motivation to.
You might be right. You might be right. But for sure there's a chemical reaction within your body.
Yeah,
that's what I'll say.
Yeah,
I think the endorphins is just like the go-to.
But also like vegetables, fruits and vegetables. Once you eat them like consistently for like a week or whatever, after eating like shit, you feel good. You feel
your body just feels.
You're a completely different person.
Like the way you go to the bathroom, all the different shit, everything feels better.
Yeah, but even your mindset and like.
But that's what I'm saying.
It's like a high.
It is 100% a high.
Yeah,
it's 100% a high.
At least right at the beginning, like right when you go from like junk to fucking.
But the thing is, people say it's right at the beginning. It goes away. It goes away and you're healthier and you're skinnier.
Yeah.
It's like it went away. Yeah. So did 20 pounds.
It goes away and you got used to it. Like it's that first like step that's the hardest.
What I would argue or what I would try to get somebody to do is take something, say this week I'm going to do this. Mm-hmm. This week I'm going to eat this amount of calories. This week I'm going to do whatever. One thing that I would let you like you guys to go on if you want to start a diet is MyFitnessPal. It is a great app.
MyFitnessPal?
It's a great app.
Is it free?
It is free. There's premium, but you can use it free and it works similarly.
What? Does it have diet and thing?
You can do workout in terms of the calories you burn, but it's mostly a diet app. The thing is about it is it tracks all your calories and you can search up your calories on there. You don't have to go to some other shit. You can put in your breakfast exactly what you ate, the exact amount, and it'll tell you how much calories in your breakfast. And
how do you weigh it?
Well, I have a scale. It's like you can get a scale for like $20, $25 at Walmart. Okay. And it works for me because I use it all the time.
Yeah.
So I just use MyFitnessPal and it works perfectly for me. So I would tell you
I
guys.
might start doing that.
Yeah, you should.
Because I want to like
track what you eat and shit.
Yeah.
I think there's there's like a month trial or something or where you
said it's free.
But premium gives you extra features. Like I get to see my calories if it's free, but if you get premium, you get to see the amount of carbs. It tracks. Yeah.
I just need calories.
For sure. So advice I would give you guys is go on MyFitnessPal. Some other topics.
Did we finish soulmates?
Yeah, it's soulmates. I think we just both don't believe in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Next topic. We got. So that's That's too good to waste.
That's
on
too
this
good.
one.
We don't want to waste it on this bum first talk.
These two, because I know I'm really passionate about these two. So here, this will be the last one because
Sure.
then I gotta take off.
Fair
soon.
enough, dude.
Okay, so you might not even know this. Do you know there's an election coming up? A municipal election.
No, I didn't know that.
There's a municipal election coming up. Should you vote for the municipal election?
Yeah.
Or would you? Would you vote?
Can't I?
You're 18.
Do I have to go?
Would you? That's what we're talking about right now.
Thing is, do I have to go there to do that?
What do you mean?
You can't do it like somewhere else. Do I have to show up somewhere to do it?
It's like at some schools. I know. Like I know my elementary school did it. Did yours didn't do it here? Your parents never went?
I don't know. I don't.
No.
If I guess then I can't do it, right? Because it's done or something.
I don't know, but
But
would you?
Would I? Yeah.
Why?
Because I think what happens in your municipality or your province is the most important to what impacts you.
That's what everyone says. But I was in the car with we're revealing names, right? John,
yeah.
I was in the car with John and Emily, right? You weren't there. It was a night. I think we dropped. It was the night we came back.
Sure.
From the college. So it was just me and them, and we were on our way home, and we saw the signs, right? And it was the municipal. And for some reason I think I brought it up, and I was like, bro, I'm not gonna vote. And Emily was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Because like that's the reaction. That's the instant reaction. Nowadays,
which is
when
weird.
you say you're not gonna vote. She didn't even hear my explanation. She didn't hear shit. I'm not, you know me. Like it's Emily. I'm not attacking Emily.
No, I get it.
I'm just saying like how like conditioned we are to have a certain reaction to something.
Yeah.
But the reason why I said I'm not gonna vote is because I don't know shit about these people. I don't.
No, I agree.
You didn't even know there was an election.
But that point is, I wouldn't vote for this election. This one, no, because I don't know.
Exactly.
But the next one, I will.
But the problem is that people are instantly like, I'm gonna vote, and then they do, and they vote for the people who they identify with. They like liberals vote for liberals, conservatives vote for conservatives.
And then we're both fucked.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I'm not a liberal or conservative.
Yeah, exactly. First of all, yeah, we're not liberals and conservatives. Second of all, it's doubtful that that liberals are willing to agree with a conservative and conservatives are willing to agree with liberals. But maybe they do.
Tough, yeah.
Let's just say a liberal agrees more with the conservative guy or conservative girl, whoever the fuck it is.
Sure. Like the idea, the ideology. Sure.
But just because they identify with liberal or conservative, they're gonna vote with that party and not give a shit.
Oh, are you kidding? That exists in terms, especially.
Yeah, that always happens. It just happens because no one wants to do the research. And I can't argue. I don't want to do the research either, right?
That's fair.
It's boring, eh? Especially this is municipal. It's not like it's federal, right?
Yeah, but I would argue there's more of a reason to.
I guess. Sure,
No, I mean,
but
not like you see how much Doug Ford has impacted us. He's impacted.
Doug Ford's what's it called? Provincial.
No, but that's the point I'm trying to make. Provincial and municipal, the two most important.
Yeah, but Doug Ford's just fucking annoying.
But that's not now or whatever. You saw how much he impacted us. How
that's
often
during COVID. How often did you see him before COVID?
Are you kidding me? OSAP. That was a huge change. Huge.
I think he's just trying to get attention. Those why
No, what are you talking about? He took away the grace period. That's not attention. He took away the grace period.
Yeah. I don't know how.
It's not that I'm arguing about OSAP.
I know.
The point I'm making with it is that these things are important. You say, well, it's not federal. I'm like, I don't remember the last time federal was impacted.
Yeah, but
I'm sure it has.
I'm not saying it's not important. I'm saying that it's boring.
It's boring. Yeah, okay.
That's what I'm saying.
There's no argument on my side. No conservative or liberal argument to dispute that fact.
Yeah, I'm saying it's boring because I don't even want to do it, but I don't think someone who doesn't do their research and identifies with a thing should. I just don't think they should vote.
If you don't do your research, you vote and you judge other people for not voting. Fuck you.
Yeah,
it's that simple.
If you do your research, I'm okay with you judging me. I'm okay with you saying, "Hey, you should do your research," but so should you. As long as you're doing your research,
100%.
I'm okay with you telling me I should do my research.
I agree.
Because we're on the same boat. It's not like
that's
not always the case. That's not always the case.
I'm with you. But what I would say though is I'll tell you should do your research, and I didn't do my research this time. Of course, I'm going to tell you to do your research because I should too. As an idea,
yeah, but I don't think you should judge me for it.
No, of course not. That's
like no, but
there's no way you can judge somebody.
I'm saying the idea is that like a lot of the times, people like regular people like me and you will judge like let's say Steph Curry, and people will be like, oh yeah, who are you to judge him?
You're not a basketball player.
And I'm like, no, I'm not. But that's his job. He's trained to do that. He's trained his whole life to do that. Yeah. He should be at that level, and I'm gonna judge him. Are you kidding me? At that 100%.
Level. Like, well, you can't even shoot a three. I'm like
shut up, bro. I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about Steph Curry.
100%.
Like if he's shooting like 10, 15, yeah, I'm gonna say, hey, he had an off night. What are you gonna say? Oh yeah, you couldn't do what he did. You couldn't shoot 10, 15.
That's the dumbest argument of all time.
Fuck up.
Whenever I see people make those arguments, like you don't do it.
People do make those arguments.
Look, at the end of the day, I'm allowed to critique something without doing it. Like that's what the entire sports news is. That's all of that is that.
Yeah. Because it depends on like situations. If it's two people who are on the same like kind of level, right? Then it's a different topic, and we can talk about that. But when it's me commenting on someone who's doing a certain job and who's paid to do that job and they have to do that job, I'm gonna comment on it. I'm gonna comment on it on their level. I'm not gonna say, "Hey, you're doing a great job," as if you were my fucking NBA. Son.
How about that?
Yeah, it's a good job.
Here's the realistic numbers of it. I think there's 300 to 500. So I would say like 400 people in the NBA. 400 people.
Only that many?
Yeah, no, like something 400, 500, right? Let's say there's 500 just for the sake of the
500.
Let's say there's 500 players in the NBA. Let's say there's coaches. Let's say in total there's 800, whatever.
1,000.
1,000. And there isn't. There's less than that. But let's say there's 1,000 people
1,000
involved in the NBA who are able to say something that matters. Okay?
Who are able to say something that matters.
They know enough about the topic. Like we don't know enough about them. They're in it. Like I think a coach has a valid opinion, even though they don't play, right?
Sure.
So my idea is, let's say it's not 1,000. It's probably 600.
Whatever.
Let's say it's 1,000. But let's say there's 1,000 people in the NBA who are valid enough in the eyes of those people who judge us for that stupid shit to say something about it. Okay, then what about the other millions of people who watch? What about the billions of dollars of revenue that come in from those people? So what, we're not able to make a fucking argument about it, an opinion?
Yeah.
It makes no sense. It's a baseless argument, and the idea is just trying to back up players and trying to like pat them on the back. Like, dude, I get they've been through fucking the ringer to get there. They worked their ass off. Yeah. And their reward is millions of dollars. Like, people don't get it. I'm not like, my opinion has always been, people say doctors only make that and NBA players. I'm like, that's dumb as fuck, bro. How many doctors are there? How many NBA players are there? Your value is intrinsic. If you fucking work your ass off and you become unique, then you're going to get paid.
If you're able to become an NBA player, fucking you deserve the money.
And people don't.
If you become the best ping pong player in the world, I don't think you deserve the money because no one's watching ping pong.
It's not about deserve or not deserve. The market decides that.
Yeah. That's what I meant.
You know, I know that's what you mean.
Yeah.
But the idea is like when people say NBA players and they're getting paid, I can't believe they're getting paid so much. I'm like, dude, they're getting paid a fraction of what they're making. Like they're making for the company more. They only get paid half of the NBA revenue, which is like whatever. Look, you're a business, you make your money. I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. I'm not mad at the NBA for that.
Yeah.
You know, but at the same time, I'm not. The more money they make, I'm not mad. I'm like happy. The way I see it is, we're all playing in a game controlled by the fucking people on top, and let's try to make it as far as we can. That's the way I see it, and make our lives as comfortable as we can. That's the way anytime I see somebody successful, I'm just happy for them. Be successful.
What do you mean, like coming from the bottom? Are you talking about?
Bottom, middle, whatever. I think we're all, like, in a way, we're being controlled.
I'm not happy for all the people up there. I'm not happy.
Look, not all the people up there. I think there's shitty people up there. But whenever I see, like, somebody like an NBA player or a sports player making their money, somebody who came straight up from hard work and they make their money, I'm like, who isn't in the billions of dollars, who isn't in the actually controlling shit and changing stuff around us? Whenever I see somebody within that bracket, even if they're super rich like LeBron James, I'm like, dude, make your money. Do you know we're all here stuck in the middle of this control shit that the people at the top are controlling. It's not a conspiracy. Like, if you think it's a conspiracy that the world is controlled by the richest people on earth, you're stupid.
That the world is controlled
100%.
by
the richest. The world is run by money.
Okay, but that's a very simplistic statement.
It doesn't have to be any more complicated than that.
it's definitely it's something we can talk about.
For sure, but it's not. I don't know enough about it, but I think most people would say yes. Money controls the world. Power, resources controls the world.
Again, that's a very like.
It doesn't need to be
the way I read that statement when you say it like that is that like they literally can like they literally like control you like they.
That's not the that.
Yeah,
okay,
no, but
which
that's
is fair.
the way,
What I mean,
you're
I mean
phrasing
is look, as an individual, we have a lot of leeway to do shit. Okay, maybe less than I think, maybe more than I think. So we have enough leeway to be able to make our own path in a lot of senses. Yeah, people are born with different things, some less than others, some more than others. But we're given leeway to decide our future in a way, right? But in terms of real power in this world and in terms of grabbing life and trying to make these 100 years, 80 years, I guess is the average, let's say 80 years of our lives worth it and enjoyable, man, it's finite. So I'm not mad at people making money.
That's why I think it's a balance, right? Because I see what you're saying with rich people control the world.
Yeah.
But you can never have full control because humans are humans.
No, I agree.
I don't know. I've read books. I'm sure you've read books, and well, I've read 2 books. So some shit. I've read 1984, and for example, Hunger Games and Divergent, right? Those governments or those ways of controlling people didn't work.
Although they don't work.
Yeah, but only because they're just controlling them. That's all they're doing. They're not giving the people any leeway to improve. They're not giving the people any freedom.
I'm with you, but this is the thing that you're not taking into account. How do you get to control the society with as many people as we have? You make them believe they're in control.
Exactly. Yeah.
But they don't have any control. Not really.
I think we have a slight amount of control
and not enough.
We could argue that.
No, I think most things should. I think votes should matter more, and not just for the people who represent us. Why is there? There's no. Think about it like this: more things can't get like legislation isn't built into based on a referendum. Like me and you, let's say we wanted to do something with the podcast, right? Let's say there's 3 people. 2 out of the 3 want to do it. We go with it. Fair enough. More than likely,
that third person doesn't have to be part of the podcast.
In general, that's not the point I'm trying to make. The point I'm trying to make is that's straight up like we vote and the outcome comes. We vote for people who may or may not make a certain legislation pass.
Yeah,
that's the thing. That takes away a lot of power from people.
That's a problem with politics, not with like.
Politics is the structure in which we get controlled, and those people are controlled from other people. Like, we fall into a structure, right? A hierarchy. And in that hierarchy, whether it be politics, whether it be money, power, all that shit, we are given a certain amount of leeway, but we're only given an amount that we believe. Like, we're given enough control that we don't really affect much. Obviously, as 7 million people affect things, it's not the point I'm trying to make.
Like, individually
we don't affect them because we're not united.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah. So, we don't affect much on an individual basis. And once you get to the top of the government, you're getting controlled by other people. You know, like you see career politicians all corrupt, all. Like you couldn't name me a career politician.
It annoys me so much.
That's the point I'm trying to make.
It's just annoying.
That's the point I'm trying to make.
It's annoying as fuck.
So when you say it's a problem with politics, I'm like, no, it's the structure that we're being put in. So then we can't change shit.
Yeah. It's because like.
Like, do I think there's shit that the majority of people want that is stupid? But that's my opinion. Like, I think there's some things that people want that, like most people would say that's the right thing or that's the wrong thing.
Give me an example.
Okay, gun control. Okay. I think at a certain time there'd be like a higher percentage of people who want gun control to exist or guns to be banned even. Mm-hmm. After a school shooting, the percentages rocket up. Does that mean?
Yeah.
Does that mean we should have the referendum then, or like when there's been no school shootings in years? Mm-hmm. Like that's another part of it. So I think
fair enough.
So I think that's a problem that we run into.
It's so fucked up because that's why there's a fundamental like flaw with the voting system. Because like the argument for not for example, the reason why like regular ass people can't become politicians and they're politicians is because let's say me and you, we know a guy. We know a good guy, right? Who's a really good guy, and we know he's gonna do his best when he gets up there. We should not, in theory and in practice, we should not vote for him, because if we vote for him, we might as well be voting for nobody, because we know he's not gonna win. We know one of those guys are gonna win, and we might as well vote for one of the top two, right?
I get what you're saying.
Let
So
me
I'm gonna say yes for the sake of continuing it. Yes.
Okay. So I watched a couple of YouTube videos on this, and
well, you're a scientist. No, go ahead.
Just a slight improvement to the voting system, not just so you don't compromise your morals for not voting for him, just so you actually have a say in the grand scheme. Hopefully, by voting for one of the top two. You do it by rank. So you say, this is my first choice, this is my second choice, this is my third choice. So I can put him as my first, and I can still say that person on the top is my second choice, who I want, who realistically is going to win, while giving this guy some legitimacy by having some votes.
I see what you're saying.
Right?
That happens in a lot of, if you see different contests, this is unrelated, where ranking voting for somebody isn't just who wins or doesn't win. That's the guy I pick. It's you rank your 1, 2, and 3, and if there's this thing where it's if somebody got more first votes but the other guy got close to enough first votes but way more second votes, they win. So I'm with you. Maybe we should change that structure.
Yeah, exactly, right? Because then even let's just say this guy doesn't win. He's getting something out of it. He gets some votes, and now he'll have a better chance next year.
Yeah.
Better chance the year after that. Whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
Right, whenever.
I'm with you. And the thing is, we're talking about a lot of macro kind of issues, and I'm about to go into another macro issue, but I'm going to say it's a little more micro than this. It's a little bit more specific. Dude, how ridiculous is it that you can only vote pretty much conservative or liberal? How ridiculous is that?
That's exactly what I was talking about.
The only thing that can be voted for is half the country doesn't want. How insane is that?
Well, you can vote for other people. There are other.
No, but I mean, just in practice that it's that.
Exactly what I was talking about. You can't vote for that third person because.
No, I'm not saying I should or should. On an individual basis, I think vote for who you want to vote for. That's the way I see. Even if it doesn't work, I just believe in that. I think
I know, but that's not how it works in practice.
No, I agree. It's not that it doesn't work in practice.
The idea is that your vote means nothing, right? Yeah, by voting for that third party, voting for the Green Party, you're voting for nobody.
But when it's that close, when I really don't give a fuck who comes in, Biden or Trump, right? If I'm in that position where I don't care,
yeah, sure. I guess.
You know what I mean?
Vote for that.
For me, is
but people will still argue that they'll
argue, because they're heavily biased on one side. Obviously, they're huge. Trump supporters or huge Biden supporters.
No. I was talking to Emily about this. Have you ever heard a Trump supporter saying, "Hey, go out and vote"? No, bro. Every Biden supporter.
But also, here's the thing. I don't know if it's liberal, but definitely in Biden's favor. The more people vote, the more people it's a higher chance that Biden wins. Yeah,
exactly. That's why it's only Biden supporters who say.
But yeah, for sure. But
everyone, make sure you go out and vote. No, they don't want to say it, but they're saying, "Hey guys, go out and vote."
But I also think the culture around the people who vote for Trump, they care a little bit less. You know what I mean? They're not as sticklers for shit.
Don't get me wrong. I can't say that because liberals, they're saying that well, and it's true. I'm not saying that it's just liberals saying that because it's liberals. But Trump supporters are dead ass Trump supporters usually. If you're a Trump supporter,
when you say you're a Trump supporter, you're
a Trump supporter. Yeah. So in that
but you have to have killed a few people to get that status.
To be able to claim that.
3 Arabs and a Jew.
You'd have to do that in order to comfortably say.
If you say if you're I'm a Trump supporter through and through, you have to really really be a Trump supporter.
Yeah, exactly. No one's gonna say
if you're mildly a Trump supporter, you're not really saying you're a Trump supporter. You're just saying I lean a little bit that way.
Yeah, but no, they're not. They would be afraid to do that. If you're mildly a Trump supporter, no one's gonna say that.
No, I'm saying if you asked them and they were able to. I'm saying
if they were able to, yeah. But no, that's the thing. I think that's another problem. You can't say shit.
No, I'm with you. But like, let's stick to what we were talking about in terms of the two parties, which because dude, we can rant about that for days.
Me, dude.
Yeah,
for sure.
No, that is the
100%.
And I think on an individual level, just to quickly go on and then come back. People, be brave. I'm not saying risk your job over just saying your opinion and being like Trump's great or whatever. No, but try to be braver in your life. You know, people are gonna challenge you everywhere that you go, but if you don't speak up, you're gonna set a precedent for the people around you.
To add on to that, make sure you do your work. Do your work before you get into a conversation. Be brave, 100%. But like I realized that 2 years ago, I guess I should have talked up, but like now I can actually speak up because I know a lot more than I did 2 years ago.
I agree.
Make sure you know your shit. You know what you're talking about. And if you don't, and if you still want to talk up, that's fine. Listen to the other person. Maybe they know more than you.
Oh yeah.
Maybe they know more than you. It's hard. It's hard for me. I'm sure it's hard for you too. It's by human nature we want to be right. Just let the other person talk. Like what I do, what I've found really helps is I can never admit I'm right in the argument. I can nearly never. I can never admit I'm right. But when I go home and I think about it and I genuinely like.
You're right or wrong.
What?
You're right or wrong. You said admit you're right.
I can never admit I'm wrong in the argument.
Sure.
So, because it's hard. It's just hard. It's hard to say.
It's a hard thing to do.
Especially when you're in front of like, let's say it's me and you having a conversation and we have a bunch of people here. It's hard.
Tough. That's
It's hard. It's hard. It's hard to be like, oh yeah, you're right. But if you go home, think about it, meditate over it, do whatever you need to do, and be like, I guess that person was right. Now you can go back into the next conversation with that new perspective, and now you have more legitimacy because you're willing to see the other side. I think people don't realize that enough. That you're more legitimate when you see the other side.
Your opinion. If let's say you're right in a situation. Let's just say you are. There's a lot of space in most conversations where you don't know if you're right or wrong. Mm-hmm. But let's say you're right. Hearing the other side will only strengthen your argument.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
The more you listen to the other side and the more you can like level with them and agree with them on like, let's say a specific scenario was true, then your argument would be true. For example, like socialism. In a theoretical world, socialism's great. In a theoretical world, I think. I don't know about you.
I'm with you. I think we need to go into the description of what theoretical means.
Theoretical, where people inherently do their best to
and want to do it
and want to do it and do it. In theory, if all humans were like that, it would be great. I'm with you guys, but that's not how humans work. If we don't have to do work, we're not gonna do it. For example, like medically, any field, technology. If we don't see any kind of reward at the end, I'm gonna do a simple job.
I'm with you.
Something that I like, that I'm okay with, and I make the same amount of money as someone who's a fucking doctor and who goes to 8 years, 10 years of medical school. If I'm making as much as them, why the fuck am I going through 10 years of medical school?
Oh, are you kidding me? There's no reason.
Yeah,
I mean, if you're trying to just make money, you're not gonna become a doctor because it's too much.
No, but the thing is, I don't know who does. I'm not sure if people do, but I have no problem with doctors making a shit ton of money because I don't want to do what they do. I don't want to go through 10 years of medical school. I don't want to have to deal with all the death.
Oh no! I see what you're saying. You're saying, dude, motherfuckers work hard, they work long, and they do something that most people can't do.
Yeah, they should get rewarded for it.
Here's what people will never get. You do not get paid for how hard you work. You get paid for how unique you are and how your value. You will get paid what you're worth. Look, obviously not really because everybody is paid less than what they're really, really worth, but you will get paid what the market allows you to get paid.
To society. How much you're worth to society.
Exactly.
How much you contribute.
How much you contribute in a sense of like, not just how much you contribute, because a lot of people contribute, but how much, you contribute and how different you are from others and how few people can do what you're doing.
You have to be smart enough to monetize whatever you do.
Oh no, yeah. There's more of that. Like there's
a lot of factors in that. But like just bare bones. Like that's what we're talking.
Oh yeah,
about.
no, 100%, dude. Look, if you're somebody who who is great at something, we have to talk about mostly entertainment. You know, it's gonna be unless you have
about entertainment,
business wise, yeah, like entrepreneurship. I feel like entertainment, you're kind of like an entrepreneur of yourself. You're selling yourself.
Sure.
So let's say a business, any type of business, you have to know how to advertise, market, all that different type of shit.
Sure.
But what I would say is kind of like going. I would want to go back into the politics conversation, but I feel like where we went is actually more interesting. In terms of
what do you mean, like right now?
Yeah, because we were gonna talk about like how ridiculous it is that we only have two parties, but we went in a pretty good direction. After that, to be fair, I honestly think that people need to try to get more of a grip of what's really happening in society and why things happen the way that they do. I feel like people just kind of accept certain facts because they were told them, and that's like here's a good example. Anytime you talk about abortion to somebody, right?
Oh yeah.
What? No, 1 second. No, 1 second. Not even the opinion on abortion, because it's everything's debatable within that, right? But what I will say is,
what'd you say?
Everything is debatable within that. There's a lot of debate happening.
No, most people
not in mainstream, but I mean for people who are willing to have a decent conversation about it and hear the other side out.
Continue.
There's some debatable shit. All right.
Continue.
But the point I'm trying to make is the thing that people inherently think of when they think abortion is fetus, never baby, never a human, nothing, fetus. And what does that word become? What has it become? Before it used to just mean an unborn baby. Now it doesn't mean that. It means a completely alien thing. You hear fetus, it's just a fetus. You know, they got rid of a fetus.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying I have my my opinion on it either. No, and
do we not both?
No, we both don't have an opinion.
We both used to though.
Look, I think the only opinion we have on it is we're not gonna demonize the women who get abortions because there's a lot of space.
I'm not. Yeah,
I completely don't.
So it's so hard. Like it's such a deep topic.
It's a deep topic. I'm not gonna demonize the women who get it. I get where they're coming from when they say like, you know, it's gonna impact their lives, things like that.
Yeah, it's not as simple as.
I just think I think
there's an argument on both sides.
I agree. What I do think, and let us preface this to try to explain what we mean by that, is in terms of an argument on both sides, all we mean is that there's topics that are just way too simplified. Either it's my body, my choice, or you're a killer. And I think that is not it.
That's too simple.
That is not it.
No, that is way too simple way to think about it.
100%. And I think why we brought that up is just to explain that we intrinsically hear things when we're growing up and just accept them.
Yeah. So then I know where you're coming from.
So if that's the case, and we just think, oh, it's just a fetus, it's just this. Look, if it is just a fetus per se, okay, it's just a fetus, but we don't actually discuss it. Who's actually had the topic, the argument to argue what the value of a life of a fetus is? Nobody's having that conversation. Not really. Mm-hmm. So the only thing that you can pull out of this entire abortion talk or whatever is be cognizant of the things that you believe in, the things that you think of. Be a skeptic. Ask questions. Ask. Nothing's going to hurt by asking questions. Mm-hmm. Nothing's going to hurt by hearing the other side of the aisle.
Just going back to that. Another advantage of hearing the other side is now you get to strengthen your argument. Oh, yeah. You get to... especially if you're hearing you point, like if you hear something that you've never heard before, and that can shock you, and that can end the argument right there, and you could even lose that argument. Go home, think about it. Think about if that person was right. Mm-hmm. If they were, fucking sucks for you. You lost the argument.
Here's a great example.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
If you lost, then now you have a new argument. Sorry, if you were right, you just couldn't think about it in that moment. Go back. Think about it. Think about how your response to that was, and next time you're in that situation, you'll be able to argue it.
Yeah, here's a great example of somebody listening but not listening. You know what I mean? Somebody sat down with me and literally, I've never met somebody who literally just ignored what I said, who heard it and just like the second the conversation got deep and the second the conversation where their opinion started to shake a little bit, they actually left. They actually left physically. They stood up and left. They're like, okay, I'm not gonna have this conversation. With you? Yeah.
But I think they have a right to.
No. I'm not saying you don't have a right, dude. I'm not gonna fucking tie you down. Here's what I'm gonna explain.
Give me one second.
Sure. Go ahead.
It doesn't matter. Yeah.
And we're back. Yeah, we got to cut off for a second right now to text. But what I was saying was, I had a conversation with somebody, right, about abortion. We were just talking, and I was just literally just asking questions, and they literally ended up leaving. What I was asking was, okay, then what do you think about abortion? They gave me their opinion. They thought abortion should be legal, blah, 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 you know, just like complete legal. Like that's their stance. And I'm like, okay. but they said I don't even think men should be able to vote on it. I don't think men should have the ability to impact it.
That's
like don't even side because I'm with you. Okay.
Yeah.
When I asked and I started saying, okay, men shouldn't be able to vote on it for what reason? And they're like, because they're not giving birth. I'm like, well, I mean, is it my child when it's born, or is it just your child? Mm-hmm. And they were like,
that's okay. Continue.
I know. I asked her. I'm like, is it my child when they're born, or is it just your child? And people say, well, I get pregnant. Hey, look. let me say this as clear as I can. Okay, pregnancy sucks, and it's a terrible 9 months, and it's hard for the woman. Pregnancy literally means nothing in comparison to a child. Okay, like a child being born and then existing is much more important in the discussion of abortions and the discussion of everything than a pregnancy. Like, I know it's tough. I'm never going to dispute it. And when the person, like preferably my wife at the time, gets pregnant, I'm going to support them 100%. I'm going to back them. I'm going to be with them 100%. Even if it isn't, I'm going to back, if the girl I'm with gets pregnant, I'm going to support them 100%. I'm with them, right? So the thing is, with that being said, I'm going to make it as clear as possible. The child's life, like it being born, let's say it got born, is much more important than the pregnancy. Okay, so when people try to use that as an argument she tried to use an argument for why men shouldn't be able to vote. It's like they don't give birth. I'm just like, well, yeah, we don't give birth, but it is our child. And you know what? If we're going to get scientific about it, we were a part of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know they're going to say, well, you were just a little part when you have to do 9 months. How about the 18 years of money we have to pay? How about that?
Yeah, that's that. I think like the more and the more I talk about it, because we've talked about abortion for a while. Like the more common sense, like it's not even worth it to bring it up that if the guy doesn't want the baby and the girl chooses to have the baby, the guy shouldn't have to pay child support. This is going off of their argument. This is going off the liberal
I know.
liberalist argument where men don't have a choice in abortion, then they shouldn't have to pay if the woman chooses to have the baby and the guy doesn't.
Oh no, I'm 100%.
I think that's so common sense.
I think it's common sense.
We shouldn't even have that conversation anymore. I think.
And liberals I've talked to have agreed. They're just like, yeah.
What?
They're like, yeah, of course.
Do liberals agree with that?
Well, a few liberals, and to be fair, I'm not talking about fucking.
I'm not talking.
I'm not talking about AOC that I was talking to here.
Yeah.
I'm not talking to the most leftist. I'm not talking to Bernie Sanders, for God's sakes. But like, I'm talking to people who would like say I'm a liberal, and they're like, oh yeah, just common sense. That makes sense.
So because we're talking to what's it called moderates.
Mostly moderate, like close enough to the middle.
Yeah.
Not, I wouldn't say as like centrist as us, but enough.
But the problem is that we're like central, but by us being central, we're right, because by not being left, you're right.
That was something that I was thinking about before. Was people say radical left, radical right? There's a easy distinction, and Jordan Peterson brought this up, and I'm giving big props to him. Easy distinction between a radical rightist and somebody who's just moderately right. Easy distinction. You can see it. Sometimes it's within race. Sometimes it's just in the way that you can perceive. Like when the shit they say is kind of weird. You know what I mean? When it starts getting racist, a little xenophobic, a little homophobic, you're just like, okay, well, this is going. You know, like, but with the leftist, I say the radical when you get to a place where your ideology can radically change shit, right? Mm-hmm. A moderate rightist won't radically change much. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Right? Like, I think it might, but like, I feel like the bar for becoming like a pure liberal and less centrist is way lower for a liberal. Like the kind of bar that you need to set to become a liberal, to say I'm a liberal, right? Mm-hmm. Is I feel is like a lot more like ideology based and a lot more kind of like constricted. And the second you become that, that's it. I feel like you can say I'm a conservative, and to be fair, I wouldn't say I'm either, but you can be kind of like a little conservative and a little liberal at the same time. But I feel like if you say I'm a liberal, the bar for becoming a liberal, like you have to agree on so many things that they agree on.
Like no matter what, you have to agree on.
I think conservatism...
It's hard to be a liberal and not agree with it.
It's funny that liberalism is based off of the kind of the rebellion of conservatism. You know what I mean? Like, it always existed, but like, liberalism is based off trying to fight that.
Liberalism is based on trying... But like...
Because it comes from anarchism. It comes from... It comes from cutting against the grain of government. Mm-hmm. Right?
We gotta leave it here because I gotta take off. But like, let's remember this.
But before we leave, next podcast, because I want to talk to you about this too. I'm not sure if they want to have this. Like we like talking about this shit.
Dude, yeah, for sure.
What's it called? The necessity of the left and right. That's what I want to remember for myself for next podcast.
Dude, for sure.
Yeah. All right, so that's about it for today. We had a good talk.
Yeah, we had a good talk.
This was so comfortable. This was way more comfortable than last time.
I think it's because we're more into it and we feel it. You know what I mean?
I think so. And like,
I know what you're gonna say.
yeah,
You're gonna say like last time we had two other people with us and it just felt like they weren't really into it as much.
Yeah,
as
it felt like we were trying to force them.
Yeah.
Right? It felt like we were trying to force.
And who knows? It might have just been an off day.
Yeah.
So
for sure.
we'll definitely
100%.
have them back.
Yeah.
But we went into politics. We went into soulmates. We went into everything.
We said we wouldn't go into
We
politics.
wouldn't, but we did.
We did.
We did. And some episodes are gonna be more lighthearted than others. But for this podcast, this is gonna be it. And we hope to see you again.
Yeah.
See you
guys.
Woo!